You can score a hat trick, win the Stanley Cup, or get your name etched into hockey history. But one moment of chaos, one slip, one boneheaded play, and suddenly you're a meme. From whiff goals to brutal own goals, these are the most humiliating, head-shaking moments in NHL history.
Puck up and shockingly it's Ryan Smith. Alex Hemsky makes a remarkable move and the Oilers
1. Patrick Steffen's missed empty net, 2007. Let's start with the crown jewel of NHL bloopers. It was January 4, 2007. The Dallas Stars were leading the Edmonton Oilers 5-4 with just seconds left. Patrick Steffen, a former first overall pick, had the puck on his stick and nothing but open ice in front of him.
Thought he was gonna until he blew it. That's unbelievable. Here come the Oilers the other way and hit.
The Oilers had pulled their goalie. Steffen skated toward the wide open net to steal the game. And then it happened. He flubbed it completely. The puck jumped over his stick. He fell. The Oilers grabbed the puck, rushed down the ice, and Alex Hemsky scored the tying goal with 2 seconds left. Dallas still won in the shootout, but nobody remembers that. They only remember the misheard round the world. Even today, fans say, "At least I didn't pull a Steffen."
Maybe one last gasp here for the Oilers. Bergeron fans on a pass. Steffen steal.
2. Steve Smith's own goal, 1986 playoffs. Imagine being responsible for sending Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers home early during a cup run. That's what happened to rookie defenseman Steve Smith. It was Game 7 of the Smythe Division Final.
5 remaining in the third. The face-off in the Calgary zone, directly in front of Burnham.
The Oilers were tied 2-2 with the Calgary Flames. Smith, trying to make a breakout pass on his 23rd birthday, accidentally banked the puck off his own goalie, ran fear, and into the net. That goal ended up being the game winner for Calgary.
At 5:14 of the third period. Gary, you said at the start of this game that
The Oilers were eliminated. Smith broke down in tears. Gretzky publicly defended him, but the fans, brutal. It took years for Smith to live it down.
to get it out of his own zone, put it in the net. At the side of the net, he was trying to...
3. Dan Boyle's own goal in OT 2010. It's one thing to score on yourself. It's another to do it in sudden death overtime, in the playoffs. In Game 3 of the 2010 Western Conference quarterfinals, Sharks defenseman Dan Boyle attempted to clear the puck from behind the net.
But we're angled too far. Murray will put it in the corner.
Somehow, it ricocheted off the inside of goalie Evgeny Nabokov's pads and trickled into the goal. Colorado Avalanche players jumped for joy. Boyle stood there, stunned. You could see DeSalle leave his body in real time. The Sharks bounced back to win the series, but for that one night, Dan Boyle was the unluckiest man in the NHL.
In. Mitchell after it. He's on it first. Clough, so strong on the boards.
5. Dennis Weidman attacks a ref, 2016. This one isn't funny, it's just awkward. In 2016, Flames defenseman Dennis Weidman was coming off a hard hit.
Period. And then the linesman down at center ice. There was a collision there between...
Disoriented or not, he skated toward the bench and absolutely leveled linesman Don Henderson from behind. No whistle, no apology. He just kept skating to the bench. The league suspended Weidman 20 games for abuse of officials. He claimed he was dazed and didn't know what he was doing. But the replay? Brutal. Henderson suffered a concussion and missed the rest of the season. Embarrassing, reckless, and unforgettable.
And then the linesman down at center ice. There was a collision there between...
6. Brett Johnson's goalie fight KO 2011. Goalie fights are rare. Knockouts even rarer. In 2011, Brent Johnson of the Penguins dropped
a shot at Matt Cook coming across the crease, Steggy. That's what I believe Johnson fought here.
The gloves with Islanders goalie Rick DiPietro. One punch, that's all it took. DiPietro went down like a sack of potatoes, instant KO. Johnson skated back to his net like it was just another day at the office.
As I said, Johnson is 6'3".
DiPietro's only 5.
Meanwhile, DiPietro had to be helped off the ice with a broken face. The entire arena gasped, and to this day, that punch is replayed more than any save DiPietro ever made.
The zone line just dumps it up into the Islanders zone. We love Max Talbot. Everybody in Pittsburgh loves Max.
7. Roberto Luongo's playoff bathroom break, 2007. In Game 5 of the 2007 Western Conference semifinals, the Canucks and Ducks were headed to overtime. But when the period started, Canucks goalie Roberto Luongo was nowhere to be found. He had to rush to the locker room. Backup goalie Danny Saborin was forced to start the period cold.
So he's trying to get up and can't figure out why, but the instincts of a goaltender, never giving up on the play and getting that glove down.
Just over 2 minutes in, Anaheim scored the game winner. Luongo rushed back, but it was too late.
One of the most unusual, most curious playoff games I've ever seen, and it gets curiouser and curiouser. Danny Saborin has led the Vancouver Canucks.
8. Carey Fraser misses Gretzky's high stick, 1993 conference final. Game 6, Kings vs. Leafs, series on the line. Gretzky, already with a goal and an assist, high-sticked Doug Gilmour right in the face during overtime.
Here for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's blocked. Anderson scores! Anderson scores! Gets the rebound, and the Leafs win it!
Drawing blood. Obvious penalty, right? Wrong. Referee Carey Fraser missed the call. Seconds later, Gretzky scored the game winner. The Kings forced Game 7 and eliminated Toronto.
It actually took 5 different replay angles. It was a reach and a clip. It was.
Fans never forgave Fraser. He admitted later that he blew the call. Gilmour needed stitches. Gretzky got a trip to the Cup final. Toronto got robbed.
Oh my God. Like Detroit when they tied it late in Game 7 in the first round, you're in Game 6. The momentum's all yours.
9. Ty Domi fights a fan, 2001. During a 2001 game in Philadelphia, Ty Domi was jawing with hecklers from the penalty box. One fan leaned too far over the glass and fell in. Domi didn't hesitate. He started throwing punches like it was a regular fight.
Here, Nichols flattens Ty Domi. Well, Ty Domi had laid Nichols out earlier in the shift. Ty's going to Chicago.
Security rushed in. The fan was escorted out. Domi got a fine, but the video? Legendary. It's not every day you see a player beating up someone inside the penalty box.
In his 12th NHL season. Don't you know better? He's sitting in the penalty box. He's getting heckled like that never happens. Heckled by some Flyers fans.
10. Ryan O'Reilly crashes into a Tim Hortons, 2015. NHL players are fast on the ice, not always on the road.
The dispute became so protracted that O'Reilly missed the first few games of the.
In 2015, Ryan O'Reilly drove his truck into a Tim Hortons at 4 a.m. He fled the scene and was later charged with impaired driving. The joke practically wrote itself.
Career. He has also been involved in several controversies throughout his career.
Of course, Canadian NHL player crashed into a Tim Hortons. He avoided jail but didn't avoid embarrassment, the mugshot, the headlines, the memes. Ouch.
With the law tonight, center Ryan O'Reilly now facing drunk driving charges north of the border.
11. Sean Avery's stick antics, 2008 playoffs. Sean Avery was known for getting under people's skin, but during a 2008 playoff game, he went too far. While screening goalie Martin Brodeur, Avery turned around and started waving his stick in Brodeur's face, like a kid trying to distract someone.
Tonight, in warm-ups, he had a few choice words for Stephen Valiquette, who was...
The NHL responded immediately, making a new rule to ban that behavior. The Avery rule was born. When you force the NHL to make a brand new rule just to stop your antics, that's peak embarrassment.
They cross the line and Sean Avery goes to the front of the goal. Gomez, Yager has time, he shoots one wide.
Ilya Kovalchuk's shootout miss, 2010. In a shootout against the Flyers, Devil superstar Ilya Kovalchuk tried to get fancy.
One of the highlights of the playoffs. That might have been the goal of the playoff, and he had Boucher beat.
He skated in, deked, lost control of the puck, and skated right past the net without ever taking a shot. Since he moved in a forward motion, the attempt was over. He just circled back to the bench in shame.
And now, Kovalchuk.
I wonder how he feels about being fourth.
14. Alex Seaman's slap fight, 2009. When Capitals forward Alex Seaman got into a fight with Rangers' Mark Stahl in 2009, fans expected a brawl. What they got was a pillow fight.
There's Ovechkin.
Yeah, Stahl.
Saw Stahl and it went right at him.
And then Orr went after.
Seaman threw weak, open-handed slaps while Stahl just stood there, confused. It became an instant meme. People called it the slap solo.
It's a 2-on-1.
Back the other way, Semin and Ovechkin. Semin fakes. Trying to
15. Chris Phillips' Stanley Cup losing own goal, 2007. It's every player's worst nightmare. In Game 5 of the 2007 Stanley Cup Final, the Ottawa Senators were on the verge of being eliminated by the Anaheim Ducks.
The lack of stoppages here in the second.
In the second period, Ducks forward Todd Marchant fired a pass across the front of the net that deflected off Senators defenseman Chris Phillips' skate and right past his own goalie, Ray Emery. The goal gave Anaheim a 4-1 lead, sealing their Stanley Cup victory on a brutal own goal.
Мессарож теряет клюшку коньком, пасует Реддану.
16. Patrick Roy's last game as a Canadian, 1995. On December 2nd, 1995, legendary goalie Patrick Roy was left in net by his coach during a humiliating 11-1 loss to the Detroit Red Wings. After finally being pulled in the second period following the 9th goal, Roy received a sarcastic ovation from the Montreal crowd. He skated off the ice, went directly to team president Ronald Corey, and declared, "It's my last game in Montreal." He was traded 4 days later. The embarrassment ended an era.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. We're almost set for the 275th and final meeting.
17. Brad Marchand's shootout whiff, 2020. Bruins star Brad Marchand had one job: tap the puck and go. In a crucial shootout attempt, he skated forward and just barely touched the puck, moving it an inch before skating past it. Because he touched it, the attempt counted and failed. The camera zoomed in on Marchand's face. He was devastated. So were Bruins fans.
Must score to keep the game going. Marchand overskates.
Even legends slip. Hockey is a game of glory, but also of humiliation. Even the best stumble, from flubbed shootouts to own goals and wild off-ice drama. These moments remind us that even NHL legends are human. And sometimes those moments, the ones that go hilariously wrong, are the ones we remember forever. Smash that like button if you've ever embarrassed yourself in front of a crowd, and hit subscribe for more unforgettable hockey stories that make you laugh, cry, or hide your face in a jersey.